Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Funs with Huns. Episode 20, I believe, this time. Unless I was just miscounting, wouldn't be the first time. You're getting it on Tuesday this time instead of Wednesday for few reasons, in which I will get in the moment. First of all, it's going to be a slightly shorter episode because I don't really have the time right now. It's Tuesday morning, currently 10:15 a.m. here, and in 2 hours I have to leave the apartment and go to the airport. We still have to pack and all that stuff, but there's really not much to do. It's just pack the clothes, get a shower, dress up, and let's go. The flight is in 14:45. So we have to be a couple of hours there earlier to do the check-in and all that stuff. And we are going to Russia, St. Petersburg, for the CC Summit that Wargaming organizes, I believe, every year. It's like last year. And I'm going to meet up with a whole bunch of community contributors from around the world that have been invited to this event. And to the entire developer team and pretty much everybody else from Wargaming that's in the Russia. I've already met a whole bunch of the dudes, in the Wargaming EU office in Prague. And I'm talking about mostly here like dudes like Chrysantos, Conway, Lord of Droid, Sehalis, and a couple of others. But now I'm going to meet the whole other side. And as far as I know, the developer team themselves is stationed in St.Petes. So we're going to be getting the glance directly into the dudes who create the game and, well, develop the game would be the proper use. And, their systems and how everything works and how the clock does tick-tock, basically. I wanted to use this episode to basically tell you to post questions in the comments below, and make sure to leave your question and make sure to upvote other people's questions that you would like for me to ask if there is an opportunity. Now, this is not guaranteed, but since we're going to be there 4 days, we're leaving today, 25th, and we're coming back on 29th. Leave a couple of questions, upvote the ones you think are the most interesting or spicy or whatever. And if I get a chance, I will ask Wargaming the questions and I will get back to you with answers if I'm allowed to share or whatever I'm allowed to share. Anyway, before we continue, the game you're going to be watching currently is going to look for you probably very, very weird at first, especially like now. Why am I not shooting and yada yada? This happened yesterday on the stream, and I had a cat, the Baba Yaga, which is her name. When I'm home streaming and Mrs. Citadel is not playing with her or she's not home or yada yada, she's always somewhere around me, and she likes to just sit below the table in the cables. In case you haven't seen the picture, it is extremely cute. Go check out the Twitter. You will have the link down below. So you can see it there. Should be like yesterday's tweet. I was basically trying to find... I was trying to take a picture of her and then tweet it over the phone so I can show it on the to the dudes on the stream, which is why I wasn't so preoccupied with the game, because the pose she had was beyond cute. Now, I'm sure some of you have already seen it. To those of you who have not yet seen it, make sure you go check it out. It's extremely cute. So I was trying to get this sorted out, and I didn't even succeed in getting everything done. And then I realized, well, I can't really waste any more time because I'm going to get my ass blown off. So I finally started playing, which is, I can't see right now, but it's been a couple of minutes in the game without me firing a single shot. And this almost comes and bites us in the ass. I mean, you can't really blame me. You can't just blame one guy in general, or at least most of the time, for losing the battle. But God, sometimes feel like no matter what you do, you should have done more. You'll see. Anyway, this is the game you're watching today. It's a solid game, and it was pretty bizarre at certain points, which we will come back in a minute or two. So yeah, we're going to St. Pete. We're going to be hanging around there for 4 days. I think Wargaming has a whole bunch of things organized, such as maybe seeing a museum, a ship, going around their office, talking to the dev teams. I'm sure, like last year, they're going to have something, you know, presented to us. I mean, there's going to be a lot of us there, like 30, 40 community contributors around the world that they picked. And this is pretty expensive. I mean, Wargaming decided to cover the entire trip. The ticket there and back, this, you know, stay there. I'm sure there's going to be some lunches and dinners and events and stuff organized as well. So this has got to cost a lot. So they better have a pretty good damn reason for inviting all of us there, and, you know, to have something to discuss with us. Last year, I haven't been invited. Last year, I was still, I would say, relatively fresh. I just joined the community contributor team a few months before, and I was still growing as a channel. I still wasn't having as much, I guess, impact. So I wasn't invited. Of course, I was hoping to be invited, but I missed that one. But I'm sure you've seen a lot of videos from community contributors such as Jingles that, you know, they've shown the pictures, the videos, tweets, and comments, and whatever social media you are following on them, what they were doing. And it was basically the whole thing was focused around the brand new carriers. Just to pause that story again, you saw, this has got to be one of the weirdest duels I've ever seen. DM Bowen versus Neptune Bowen, just shredding each other with AP, and none of the two can really do anything. I haven't really been paying attention, but Des Moines can't really overmatch or penetrate Neptune from the front. I don't do stats that much, so I don't really know the value. But I just shoot and see what happens, and I'll keep in mind for the next time. But it's pretty funny because you will see this guy popping in chat soon and be like, why didn't your turrets break? His plan was apparently to bow in and break my turrets. I don't think Neptune can penetrate Des Moines turrets, at least not from the front. Funny enough, I haven't blown up his turrets either. I haven't really been aiming for them, but a lot of shells actually went there. I tried to, you know, blow them up through the hull, like citadels and stuff. It didn't work. It was just ricochets. So I just went for the superstructure, and then eventually tried to get a couple of fires, which I had limited success with, but I was never going to lose battle Des Moines versus Neptune. Like, the only chance he had was somebody helping him, and he had no help, or somehow managing to torp me. But let's be honest, I'm a Des Moines. You start turning side, I'm loaded with AP, I will blow you up. Even if you get to fire the torpedoes, I have a legendary mod which really helps in accelerating even in reverse and trying to wiggle out and dodge most of your torps. Like, maybe you get me, maybe you don't, but at best it's going to be a trade. Even if you do succeed, it's going to be a trade tier 9 for a tier 10, which is kind of worth it, but you really want to finish your battle with like 40-50,000 damage at best and maybe one kill. Anyway, so yeah. Last year I haven't been there, but I've seen a bunch of videos and posts. It was mostly oriented around the map designs and the new aircraft carriers, which was the rework. And I remember Jingles and Fem and a lot of these dudes talking about how it's going to be something we totally haven't expected. The whole carrier rework that everybody was expecting or anticipating. Some people are gonna like it, some people are gonna hate it, and that it's definitely going to change. But they weren't allowed to talk about anything in specific. It was a strict NDA, and I'm sure all of us will have to sign these non-disclosure agreements that we don't leak anything that developers don't want us to, you know, say, because after all, they want to be the first ones giving you information about their own game. It is on us community contributors to basically spread the word and inform the people on what's happening, what's to come, and stuff like that. I can't really... I've been thinking, not too hard, but a couple of times I actually thought about it. What could be so big and so drastic or dramatic if there is a reason? Maybe it's just there's nothing really that major going on, but they will invite us nonetheless because they're turning it into a tradition. Once a year they will summon everyone who wants to come, of course. But you would think that they're going to have a really big fat reason for investing so much resources, even though we could be like, oh yeah, come on, it's a big rich company, I'm sure this is not a problem for them. Yeah, sure, of course, but still, it's a lot of funds. You better have a damn good reason to do it, besides just meeting people and getting on the same line, as I'm sure me and Octavian will have a pretty good chat. Because we always seem to be biting each other's necks when it comes to the carriers. And I'm very much looking forward to it. But I've been thinking, like, what can be so big that they could reveal to us? If there is going to be something big happening, and I can't really tell you, would I love it or would I hate it to happen? Because the only really big thing that I can think of that would have an impact on the game, like carriers did, well, it's questionable how much impact would it have, but it would be submarines. And as much as I'm like, yeah, I want something big to be happening this year as well, makes you feel special, no. If you would ask me, would you rather be like, oh yes, I was here when it was starting, it was awesome, or it was terrible, whatever, when the subs were being created and yada yada, I would rather have this year be nothing special than that, honestly. That's my opinion. But who knows? If there is something really big happening, the only thing that I can think about that can be like really, really innovative and breakthrough is just submarines. I don't know. Like, we've seen them being used in Halloween events and stuff, but nothing has been really talked about much ever since. And we've just seen some logs being edited recently and stuff like that. People who like digging through the game files. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we get to see new branches, new lines. I mean, Pan-European line is supposed to arrive soon, right? So maybe they're gonna give us a whole bunch of these ships to take a look at and maybe play around with a bit. I'm also having thoughts on my mind that the whole 4 ships that are coming, like Ark Royal, was it Friesland? Siegfried? Yeah, I forgot the names. And Thunderer. These ships that are coming, that they might have probably ready there, and we could get a hold of them and try them out for first time, see how they work. I'm especially excited for Friesland. A DD with no torps. And, you know, I will have a, if I get a chance, of course, talk with all these developers and see if we can get on the same line, basically. So please, by all means, if there's any questions that you would like me to ask, and you know I'm a fish, so whatever I may want to ask them, it's easily gonna go out the window, unless it's written down somewhere. And what better place to just have one video dedicated mostly to it, where you're just gonna drop all your questions and upvote each other's questions, and then I can, at any given point, just hop on my phone, get to the YouTube, turn on this video, scroll in the comments, and be like, here we go. The first 5, 10 top questions, or 1, whatever. Gonna be like 30, 40 of us, so it's not going to be a Flumbus and Dev session, I'm sure. So yeah, make sure you pop some questions, make sure you share your thoughts, and what do you want. I'm sure there's already like at least 20 people that already, before even finishing the video, in the comments were like, oh, tell those mother truckers They don't know what the hell they're doing. Yeah, like, come on, let's save the insults that you have, and stuff like that. Let's keep it constructive. Go with the question you want me to ask, and if I have a chance, like I said, I will ask, and if I can, I will give you the answer as they, answer to me. I don't really think there was much else to talk about. But yeah, that trip just gotta finish this up. I have a whole bunch of videos prepared for the YouTube in my absence. More than I need, actually. Made sure of that. So you won't be missing a thing if you're just watching on the YouTube. As for the streams, of course, for 25th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and probably 9th, these 5 days, most likely, there's not going to be any stream because, well, I'm going to be there. Unless they organize something, which I seriously doubt, where we can sit behind a PC and do a stream together or something like that. But I doubt it. I'm sure we're going to have other things to do. Yeah, but keep up on the Twitter. I will leave the link down below as usual in every video. Keep up on the Twitter, where I will be posting a whole bunch of pictures and secret things. Kidding. And yeah, we will get to meet a whole bunch of other dudes. There's one person who, to my knowledge, isn't coming, unless something changed or changes last moment. Jingles. I feel like there's a higher force right now keeping something in between the two of us from ever meeting, because this is getting ridiculous. We were supposed to meet in Prague, in the Wargaming EU HQ, for doing Shipstorm Saturday last year. He missed his flight. I was hoping maybe on TwitchCon, but he wasn't interested. So I was like, okay, what about Gamescom? He was interested, but then there was a change of plans, so nothing there. And then CC Summit, I'm thinking, okay, this is definitely where I'm gonna do, tick that off my list, meet the old man. He got ill. I think he got some nasty virus, and he's home in bed and stuff like that. He let us know this about like 4 or 5 days ago. I don't know. We can just hope for a speedy recovery, and that he actually, I don't know, changes his mind. But if he's gonna do it, well, he probably had to be on the move already, because it's 10:30 a.m. here, and a lot of dudes that live further away are already been flying for like 12 hours. Of course, if they were flying for 12 hours, they would already be at their destinations, but you have to get from one place to another and then wait there for a couple of hours and so on and so forth. And not everybody's going to be arriving in the same time. So, yeah. And then to make things even more bizarre, me, Mrs. Citadel, and Jingles were supposed to be in the same car. It's going to pick us up and take us to wherever we're going, to whatever hotel or whatever Wargaming booked for us. And then I saw that and I was like, this is sad face. So many opportunities, so many good stories, just missed, I guess. So I'm looking forward to the next opportunity that I would have to meet the old man. But at this point, I'm starting to kind of lose hope, and I have no idea when that could be. Like, this was the very last thing planned, where I was 100% sure he's gonna come. Apparently it's never 100%, even that 0.01 sometimes screws you over. So I really have no idea when and where will I have a chance to meet him next time, but I'm sad. Old man, get better, god damn it. And yeah, I think that's about it. YouTube vids are ready, streams are gonna have to wait. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna have a really fun time. From my, judging from my past experiences, 4 days is not going to be nearly enough to see the actual city. Like, we've spent 4, 5, 6 days in the cities, which, well, I can't say more or less relevant or bigger or lesser importance. I mean, also big cities such as Berlin and Prague, extremely beautiful, and it's never enough. You would need to spend like a month in some city to, you know, completely explore it and feel it. And we're going to be in St. Pete for 4 days, and from at least half of those days we're probably going to be spending in the offices and talking to Wargaming and maybe, I don't know, whatever. So I don't know how much opportunity I will actually have to see the city, but I'm looking forward to every bit of it because I'm sure it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and it has a lot of historical importance. And for me, that means something. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure to leave your questions and upvote the ones you want to see. Thank you for sharing, liking, disliking, and watching and subscribing and all that jazz. And yeah, have a good rest of the day. Have a good rest of the next couple of days. You get a break from me from streaming if you're just on the YouTube. While you don't get a break, I'll still be uploading. And yeah, good luck and have fun. And I'll see you soon.